Welcome, welcome, everyone. El Matador versus Nuclearpasta. Jabari joining me here yet again. Welcome, sir.
What's up? Thanks for having me, man.
Indeed, indeed. Do have the civs and the maps available for you guys on the screen here. It's going to be an interesting set. El Matador pretty highly seated.
Yep. Nuclear Pasta's got his plate full here. Honestly, he's probably in the situation I and many others find themselves in, where he's realistically just hoping for a game win on his home map. If Nuclear Pasta is actually able to win the set here, that would like truly be the upset of the century. But I got a lot of faith in my boy Nuclear Pasta. I played him before in a previous tournament. He won his previous round pretty handily, in particular the Arena Cove game, or rather the Banana Cove game, showing some sick galley micro, opening galleys, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I'll root for him. He's the underdog.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see what he comes out with here. He will have a map with involved water here with Banana Cove, so we'll see what he can do with that. El Matador on the other side, I think he's seed number 4 in this bracket, highly rated. It looks like he's probably more of an Arabia player based on the home map selection there, lanes. Kind of favoring more towards Arabia style play. But El Matador will have Italians, Lithuanians, Mayans, and Huns. Nuclearpasta with Vikings, Ethiopians, Franks, and Chinese.
Yep. Interesting civs. El Matador could go either way, cavalry or archers here. Nuclear Pasta, I guess you could say the same, man, sneaking that Frank's pick in, but his Civ picks clearly favor Archer Civs overall.
Yeah, and I feel like it almost has to be Vikings here for him on his home map.
Ah, that's so presumptuous, man. Franks and Chinese. Oh, for his home map? Yeah, for sure. For sure. He's going to open galleys as Vikings. I mean, the fact that he first picked a Civ for his home map kind of speaks to my original analysis that he's really just hoping for a single game win. And honestly, dude, El Matador's got to be like 2K2, almost 2K3, something like that. Nuclear Pasta is still far from the 2K mark. If he can pull off a game win even here, that would be a tremendous accomplishment.
Indeed, indeed. But let's go ahead and dive into game number 1 here, guys. It will be Nuclearpasta here in the gray. He will be with the Franks civilization, and against him, El Matador in the yellow with Lithuanians. And boy, does he have a beautiful map here for himself. El Matador going to be able to wall up quite easily. Wouldn't be much of an issue if he so chooses to. Main gold is rather safe and securable as well. Rest of the gold is forward, but won't be needed until later. And then on the other side, Nuclearpasta. His wood lines are extremely awkward, but this one is quite large, so will help him to secure that area.
Yep, I mean, I actually love being as close to the edge of the map as Nuclear Pasta is. In some bizarre way, you could say that he's already walled to his TC. Of course, that's not literally true, but being close to the edge or the corner always makes the wall off easier.
Yeah, for sure, and we'll see how that comes into play here. Obviously, it's going to be something that I imagine we're going to see, at least from Nuclearpasta's side, being the lower rated player. Walls, not
I don't know about
necessary.
that, man. Yeah, like at least my feeling when I was up against the higher rated player was that if you dedicate resources to walling, your military inferiority is kind of just confirmed. You kind of have to throw everything you can into the aggression to hope to win better fights. Like, walls provide some defense, but in the end, what you need is military superiority, and resources dedicated to walls don't directly contribute to that.
Yeah, makes sense. We'll see what he has in store for us, though, here. El Matador will be using the TC trick here, and we'll get that one under his TC quite nicely.
Yep.
Nuclearpasta on the other side, not doing the same. We'll just use the villagers to shoot it down, be a little bit safer with it there. And Frank's gonna be headed out here. 2 berries, pretty nice berry spot here for Nuclearpasta. It's gonna be hard for that to be denied.
For sure. And one other aspect of the map generation that's so favorable for Nuclearpasta here is the relics, man. He's versed Lithuanians, and literally all 5 relics are on his half of the map. There's like one which is equidistant, and the other 4, I would say, are clearly in Nuclearpasta's favor. And when you're up against Lithuanians, man, that is absolutely huge, especially in a cavalry mirror. Like, possession of the relics is what determines who has the stronger units.
For sure, for sure. And it could definitely come into play. We'll see. We have a barracks coming up already here for El Matador. Don't believe he took any gold, so I don't think he's going to be going for too crazy of a drush. But he will likely just be going up for scouts, would be my guess. But it will actually be militia, so maybe he's going to go for that 2 militia drush here.
It's pre-mill. Honestly, dude, he could go for even more as Lithuanians. I suppose 2 is the meta. I guess this is his first game in Banano, so he might not know how strong the monkey is. But 2 militia feels pretty weak with a monkey on the field.
Yeah, and we see that El Matador has snagged a few sheep here from Nuclearpasta, and he's definitely looking to make his life more difficult with this play. Those get back, and they should. Things are looking okay for him. And it will just be 2 militia drush.
Yeah, but Nuclearpasta anticipates this based on the Civ. He's pre-walled his wood. His berries are also relatively safe, pre-walled as well. This drush should do minimal damage. Nuclearpasta is playing this to win, man. He's not just going for the home map win. He's trying to take it all. And honestly, dude, he's wrecked this monkey, man. Still super low idle time. Nuclearpasta at this point is definitely ahead. I mean, it's like so early and it's such a small advantage, but he has it.
Yeah, these walls will melt quickly, so this will be a very important thing to pay attention to. Wall does go down, but he re-walls behind, so it looks like that will be safe for the time being. On his way to the feudal age, El Matador, though, will continue with villager production, it would seem. And I think he might be... Okay, he is going to grab a loom here. Maybe he's going to go up at 22 pop now.
Yep, 22 vills, 2 militia, and a monkey. So he's technically 25 pop, but the thing says 24 pop because the monkey technically doesn't take up any pop space. It's all very confusing. As Nuclearpasta basically kills the monkey for free almost. His monkey, I think, could almost 2v1 the militia as he's luring them into the TC. Honestly, dude, I think Nuclearpasta might have an underdeveloped 1v1 elo. I recall when I scouted him for a tournament that I played him in, that his team elo was like blown up compared to his 1v1. And truthfully, dude, he's not looking to be the weaker player here at all, in my estimation.
Yeah, I mean, things are looking fairly good. He's going to be up faster. He has dealt with the aggression here. Monkey is no longer here, so it's just going to be 2 militia. Gotta think as soon as scouts start to come out, this will be dealt with quite handily. And the monkey has gone away here for El Matador as he wants to bring it back home. And El Matador is going for the wall up here.
Yeah, obviously smart from El Matador. Once your scout's down to 1 HP, making it a traditional scout in the sense that it just goes and scouts the map is always a smart move. As Nuclearpasta, yeah, gets up to the feudal age in the kind of time that a Frank Scouts player would like to, having taken no damage. And I think he has a good chance of getting scouts across the map before El Matador is full walled. El Matador has a pretty nice base, man, but he's got a lot more to go to close this thing off.
Yeah, it's an interesting position here to wall up to the edge of the map here. But I guess he has no intentions of going out to the edge, which makes sense. But ultimately, this other side, he's leaving open right now for the consumption of the deer as well.
Yep.
Ooh, another militia added, and man-at-arms, and a pike or a spear out on the field.
Yep, very nice. And man, I just got nothing to do with this game whatsoever, but I will compliment Nuclearpasta just on his like mental fortitude and general bravery here, man. Like, I did it. A lot of other players did it. They go up against the higher rated players. On paper, they don't stand a chance, but in practice, man, the game is entering like phase 2 here. And honestly, Nuclearpasta's position seems favorable, dude.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Does have a spear in the mix of the Man-at-Arms here, so let's see how that works out. Monkey is forward. There is an archery range here, an archer on its way out. It looks like the scouts will not be able to get in here on either side, so the scouts likely just going to trade off against military before long.
Yep, 3 scouts running into walls is not like an overinvestment at all. It's actually arguable. The walling player wasted more resource getting the walls up than you did getting those scouts up. As El Matador is just piling onto this lumber camp, it kind of seems like these players are content to take it to Castle Age, which favors Franks heavily given the relic distribution here, man. This Lithuanian player is going to have a hard time even too. Yeah, as El Matador was hyper vulnerable to that trap and apparently was keeping his eye on it very closely.
Yep, unfortunately though, there is an archer here, so that will need dealt with. Villagers will be losing HP, but for now should be safe. Fletching is just now on its way here, so this archer could take a decent exchange for the time being.
Yeah, El Matador a little bit ahead of numbers. Lithuanians are a little bit more inclined to go ranged units than Franks. But as Franks here, Nuclearpasta kind of he can fight this with just scouts. He doesn't need to go into his own ranged units to try and compete.
Yeah, all in all, he's got a few idle vills here, so his eco is a little less for that reason. There's a really low HP vill here as well, so these spears, man-at-arms, and the one archer here really doing a good job. Actually going to find a villager kill there. Not what you want to see. And a second range going to come down for Nuclearpasta here. So he is going to be very worried about this for now.
Yep, and also notably Nuclearpasta, he's got the 1-0 KD against him with vills. He's got 2 vills of idle TC time. And just like that, El Matador has effectively a 3 or 2.5 villager lead. And yeah, these pro players, man, they just do it so clean. I mean, the games you and I play, a 2 or 3 vill deficit, like, literally doesn't matter. But I think more often than not, that is the start of the game-winning advantage snowball for these high-level guys.
Yeah, villagers will continue to go down. There's been archers here, archers looping around. Nuclearpasta is in trouble as the things sit right now. Continuing to fight, getting the archer numbers up there, though. Fletching in as well. Man-at-Arms finally losing some HP. But archer numbers, military numbers in general, quite good for El Matador. And it's just been hard to keep up here for Nuclearpasta with its composition.
For sure, man. And El Matador has the fight at the opponent's base. El Matador is also full-walled. Basically no chance that El Matador will take damage here. El Matador with the superior military, though it's getting whittled a little bit here. Definitely a better eco, though, man. Nuclearpasta is putting all his res into this feudal military to try and stay alive. Meanwhile, El Matador, man, he's almost able to click up.
Yeah, and he probably will click up first with the current situation. This is going to be a nice cleanup, though. Finally, these archers and scouts will clean this military up for the most part. He stopped microing the archers, actually. I think he could have saved a few more of those if he would have microed them. But all things considered, I'm sure he's happy that that massive army that was there has pretty much been taken down to next to nothing. But again, it's still the military is at his base.
Yep. And, I mean, I just got to call it like I see it, man. El Matador, he is just decisively taking this, man. His economy and base, as you pan over to it, just looks so much better. I mean, I'm impressed with Nuclearpasta's performance, but this match, man, I think it's kind of a tune-up for El Matador, who is expected to make it to, like, the semis based on his seed.
Yeah, and he's going to be fighting here, and he's going to be up into the next stage. Archer numbers will continue to grow here as these units are just passing. Scout may get away, but another range being added behind this. So Lithuanian crossbows will be the choice, it looks like. Oh, he does have a stable coming down as well. So maybe
dude.
crossbows into knights or something here.
Yeah, I mean the relic thing might actually give Nuclearpasta a chance to come back at this. Lithuanians without relics against Franks are just horribly underwhelming. You don't want to go for Lithuanian skirms or archers versus Frank knights. You don't want to go for your own Lithuanian knights without relics versus Franks. Though I suppose in Castle Age it's not a big deal. Lithuanians actually are probably better with just one relic even than the Franks in Castle Age. So Almanador, he should actually have a pretty solid military unit matchup in the Castle Age, as he's just microing this so meticulously, dude. That was like kind of ridiculous.
Yep, we'll end up taking out the scout though, so I'm sure he's happy to get rid of that. That did really whittle down the numbers here, and it will be a third archery range here. With bloodlines coming in, and we do have only archer upgrades, is it going to be Cav Archer? It is. Lithuanian Cav Archer going to be coming out.
Let me check the tech tree real quick, man. This is not something that I think I've ever seen or considered going for myself.
Well, GG is in, but I believe it is very viable with Lithuanians in Castle Age. Not so much towards Imperial Age.
Yep, they get Thumbring, they get Bloodlines, they get Husband. They obviously get Bodkin, so of course it is fine for Castle Age. A timely GG from Nuclearpasta. I mean, honestly, if they were evenly matched, it would be an early GG, but I absolutely do not blame him at this point. As we go to Game 2, which I've been saying from the start, is Nuclearpasta's time to shine, man. This match is probably a losing war for Nuclearpasta, but maybe he can win a glorious battle here in Game 2.
Yeah, GG's. Let's shift over here. Whoops, apologies, wrong screen. Here we go. Let's get back to the Civ draft and maps real quick. We will be headed to Banana Cove, Nuclearpasta's home map. Lithuanians with the win, Franks with the loss here. Italians versus Vikings seems to be the ideal civilization matchup here. So we'll dive into the set and see what we have in store for game number 2 here, guys.
Yep. And I do find the theory of this map to be very interesting. We were talking, and the gameplay proved in the lower brackets the fires beat galleys. We saw a few players go for galley openings here, just get stomped. I did some practice games, man. I can say that up to like 1600 elo fires beat galleys. Nuclearpasta, though, he was actually viewing his previous set live as he won this map with galleys. He was asserting that galleys are the theoretically superior opening on this map. And with his Vikings pick, he's demonstrating a very hard commitment to testing that.
Yeah, I think Vikings on this map are really good on water, but I fear for them in the late game in some sort of matchups, and Vikings not having bombard cannon, I believe, is probably what makes it really, really bad for them on this map.
Yeah, now that you mention it, versus a higher rated... I mean, I was considering this map myself for my matchup for player, and I concluded that even if I somehow managed to I would probably lose the late game land push. And yeah, Vikings versus Italians trying to fight across essentially a very long choke point in the late game doesn't seem like it would work out. So Nuclearpasta, man, I mean, you just got to take the game phase by phase. Let's see if he can even win water to start.
Yeah, I mean, water would be the most ideal thing for him to take here, and maybe if he can get onto some longboat production, which would be really fun to see on this map because we haven't really seen it a whole lot. But if he can get those numbers up, it will make it even more difficult to push on the shore, even with bombard cannons, should that come up against him. But like you said, that is late game. We'll see. Desert generation here, so the elephants are on the map. A little bit more food here for the players. Not a lot, but does help with a little bit faster up times. So we'll see what happens here. So it looks like both players headed out to get an elephant, and we have Nuclearpasta going to be coming over to collect some shorefish, waiting for the food for the dock. Or wood for a dock, my apologies.
Yep. I mean, at this level, and I guess henceforth in the tournament, I expect players to have relatively clean and similar water builds, which makes the strategy choice all the more relevant. I mean, in a galley's mirror, Kings, they have discounted ships, man. I think they can get out superior numbers. I mean, Italians have discounted fishing ships and a cheaper up. So for the early fights, I guess Italians might have it a little bit better. I don't know. I guess I'm assuming El Matador will probably mirror galleys at this point, if for nothing else, just so that the higher rated player, I think the higher rated players tend to like mirroring, because truthfully, they're basically favored in every single mirror. So it seems unlikely that we're going to see galleys versus fires here.
Yep, will definitely be interesting to see how things work out. Obviously, dock numbers are going to be very important here early on. And I think Nuclearpasta is looking to go up here as soon as he can, but I think he didn't have this elephant in time, so this is going to hurt him quite a bit here as far as the food economy goes. Even been really good as far as Vil went down there. The elephant got a kill. Not what you want to see for him.
He's choking this build. I think it was during his last set when we discussed the possibility of the pro meta being to push the deer from outside the gate here. It's possible that by trying to do that, he taxed his APM, ended up being late on the second boar, also losing a Vil against a pro player, man. I mean, I'm sure the Nuclearpasta will play this out and it won't make the biggest difference. But you have so little margin for error here. That fucking hurts.
Yep, it does indeed. He's trying to click up too, and he does not have enough res here, so he's going to be up later than he wanted to be. I think if he would have had that in a little bit earlier, he would have been fine, but he shifted off into more wood a little bit earlier, I think, than he should have. Elephant also late, losing that Vil hurts him quite a bit here. As El Matador, on his way up, will have a second lumber camp coming down. Feudal Age still a ways away, but I imagine we're going to see a second dock coming up soon. And Vil's moving to gold before too long.
Yep, and I wonder if Nuclearpasta is going to go for like an early 4 docks or something here. I mean, that is one of the ways to potentially gain advantage, as he's going for his 3rd dock actually earlier than you would normally see. He's going to have enough wood in the bank to afford a 4th dock if he wants to. He has 4 Vils on gold at this point. That is definitely more than typical build. Without Loom, you really only need 2 normally. I think Nuclearpasta is going to try to open 4 docks, almost.
Yeah, I mean, he's got enough time to gather a little bit more res here, sending more to wood. It is only going to be 2 docks on the other side, and it will be Fire Galley, only out of 1 dock thus far. There comes the second one. So, Fire Galley v Galley, 3 dock v2, but this timing is going to be very interesting to see how this works for Nuclearpasta.
Yeah, I do like the asymmetry for Nuclearpasta, though. Going galleys versus fires, he definitely has a theoretical chance to win decisively on water. And even if he does that, I don't know how good his chances are, but winning water is certainly the first step to victory here.
I mean, the fact that he's dropping a blacksmith this early as well is very encouraging for him. He is going to be trying to go for fletching, which will be quite important. He only invested 3 fishing ships into this. It's 4 for El Matador, so a little bit of a discrepancy there for him. Fire ships are forward. Galleys will be popping out here momentarily. Fletching on its way still.
Yep, and I like it. As El Matador goes in for a fishing tip, takes some damage on his first fire with getting nothing in exchange. It looks like Nuclearpasta's a smooth time getting up to 6, 9 galleys. And from there, man, I think he's going to win water and feudal, dude. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, always looks good, but again, he has to keep these numbers up and alive to keep that advantage. And we could always have El Matador sneak around to try to pick off some HP. Just have to wait and see here. Repairing that fire galley here, so we'll have some fire galleys at full HP. Fishing ship number 1 goes down here for El Matador. Oh, but this is not good. He's already got galleys taking hits.
Yeah, and El Matador is doing the thing that I always say you should do with fires. Oh boy, is have a couple of groups, make it impossible to kite without running into the other group. As Nuclearpasta, he's taken some kind of critical damage on these galleys. This is not a favorable kite here, as he almost loses one of his galleys, but still, he hasn't lost a single military unit. His mass is getting up there, nearly at the point where he can two-shot. I stand by my call that Nuclearpasta is going to win water in feudal. And El Matador, I'm sure he's not going to roll over and die, man. 0% chance El Matador calls this after losing water.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a fine position. He does have 3 docks already as well, so Nuclearpasta is just ever so slightly edging this out. A lot of these do have low HP, so I like that Nuclearpasta has chased. And if he can get, I think, another 6 galleys, it's going to be very difficult to stop this mass. Fire ships are sneaking around here, though. One fire ship baiting all 12 of these is going to be difficult.
Yeah, dude, and the Italian res, man, he's about to click Castle Age. I guess he still needs both buildings, but if El Matador gets to Castle Age significantly quicker, I mean, I think that once the fire ship upgrade comes in, regular feudal galleys are just tickling them, man. And I don't know, man. Nuclearpasta's eco and timing actually don't look that bad on the other side.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I think the problem now, though, is that we're going to see the galley switch come in here for El Matador. He will have these fire ships still available, and he does have a fishing ship left as well. It looks like Nuclearpasta has 1 left. But the issue with this timing up here is, like you said, he's going to be up faster, and that's going to make a lot of difference here once those upgrades start coming in.
Yep, but Nuclearpasta should have a considerable numbers advantage if he can just run away until he gets his own upgrades. Nuclearpasta, I mean, he's got the better galley numbers, and that's what determines water fights.
Yeah, but I think we're seeing fishing ships added too early here for Nuclearpasta, and that could spell trouble for him here.
Yeah, honestly, disastrous decision to be adding fishing ships here. This is still a full military commitment. That's something you do when you're sure you've won water. To make them at a time like this, I think is just a total misplay.
Yeah, and he's got galleys queued up here, so he will definitely be later to the next stage. And the food is just disappearing. He doesn't have it here. He's got a lot of vills not working on the town center right now. And splitting his military in the center here for now. And El Matador is doing what he wants to do here. He's going to start building up galleys in the docks. And he's got land food economy here. And I think that's really the big difference right now.
Yep. But I don't know, man. Nuclearpasta, he's a water player who likes galleys. By all indications, man, he can micro with the best of them. His galley numbers are vastly superior, looking like 25 to like 12. I do think that Nuclearpasta will win this on water, But at the same time, I almost still favor El Matador in the long term to somehow just pull the victory out of nowhere through some sort of late game land play, maybe coming back on water later. As you mentioned at the very start, man, perhaps his access to Bombard Cannon will enable him to just push around the edge of the map even without water. I don't know, dude. Like, a 2K2 player is just so scary.
Yeah, and we see the market being heavily abused here. Nuclearpasta trying to get to the next stage, knows he needs to be there, but again, he has no food on land. He's added more fire or fishing ships. 3 of them are not working.
Yeah, only 2 eco units collecting food. He abuses the market to get it. I absolutely approve. He's got to rebalance his eco in the meantime. You can only go so far with 2 eco units on food. It seems like his plan was to win water and then just have full food eco on water. And he's kind of close to that, but it has been formally denied as he just needs to run right now. I know that you can sometimes fight galleys versus war galleys, but this is one-shot territory as he's choosing to engage, man.
I think this is a fairly good fight for him. He needs the time behind this. He's going to take out a lot. Actually, the galleys fire faster, but obviously the numbers and the HP important here.
Yeah, it might be a mistake for him to be microing this, man. Almost no shots are missing. Perhaps just a straight damage exchange would have been the way to go. As Nuclearpasta took a bad engagement there, dude. He definitely lost more than he killed, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, he did save his food economy a little bit with the fish. He did exchange somewhat well, being out-teched here, but obviously not great, and it's not really what you want to do.
Yeah, as he continues, I don't think he should be dancing with these superior units. At this point, he has inferior numbers and inferior tech. This is like fighting, archers versus crossbows or something. You just ain't supposed to do it. As his fishing ships go down, I think Nuclearpasta's morale might be broken here. Honestly, dude, it was a heroic effort. He's outclassed by like 600 elo or something like that. He's just a very strong regular player playing against an absolute pro here. As the trade cog comes in, I feel like that's a misclick, dude. I don't think he's flexing at this point.
Yeah, hard to say. Castle Age is in, though. Botkin is coming in. Fire ships are out again here for El Matador. Good thing, though, for Nuclearpasta, his economy is going to be quite superb, having handcart for free. So we'll see if he can rally that into his advantage somehow. And he's taking a decent fight here, cleaning up some war galleys, distracting most of the army. So he hasn't lost water, has a lot less on water right now. But
dude, it's only like in an extremely literal sense that he hasn't lost water. I don't think that he can catch up in numbers. If El Matador just converges on this here, it will be a massacre.
Yes, it will be brutal.
Yeah, with the economy behind El Matador, I mean, should have the ability to match production. As Italians, he should be able to get all the Navy tax. The fires in the mix will make this extra tough. This is Nuclearpasta's last stand, bro.
Yeah, and it's gonna be rough. It's kind of a shame he's not switching into longboats. I think longboats would have been wonderful here for him, but straight galley play, taking the best possible exchange he's gonna get. I feel, given he's lost everything else and docks are under fire. The GG will come in. Nuclearpasta gonna go down here to El Matador.
Yep, a proper GG, man. I believed in Nuclearpasta. He looked good, and given the matchup, he performed really well. And what up, Kados?
The map terrain with the desert is a little strange, yes, but it is kind of nice for players to get elephants, so it is a little easier to get to that next age. Not a ton, but I actually like that we have it vary in biomes, personally. GG's. Congratulations to El Matador, who will be moving on. We will have to say goodbye to Nuclearpasta here. And the only way that we know how, guys.
I've heard that line so many times. But
I don't know what else to say. It's purely comical.
for sure, dude.